You all set?
You got it.
Okay, fine. So you're running it? Fine. I'm talking with Dr. Fred Turner, Dean of Students for the University of Illinois, and we're going to discuss some of the facts and the history of the university.
In August of 1918 came the announcement from the War Department they would, in the fall, have the Students' Army Training Corps, which was this was something like the ASTP of the Second World War. And people who were freshmen coming into the university could enlist in the service and enter as privates in the Army and be actually on enlistment at $30 a month, but be going to school too. And this was the way I entered, and we were in uniform. We lived a military life, and then went to classes from 10 o'clock until 5, and then had some free time for study at night. Homecoming was started in 1910. That was before I came, of course. The first year I was here, they didn't have any homecoming. This was in the war year. And in fact, they played the game that was supposed to have been the homecoming game with no one present because the flu epidemic was in process, and they played it with locked gates. The game was played on Illinois Field, but there wasn't anyone there. I watched it through the gates. I'd had the flu and was over, and I went over and looked through the holes in the fence and watched the game play, but there wasn't anyone in the stands at all.
They made him a captain, he's on the furlough. He brought home a prize, but it is...
He did everything he could to know students and to get acquainted with them. But he was a very kind man. Too kind, really. He was soft as far as money. I mentioned he was sharp financially, but at the same time he gave away as much as he made. I don't really know how much money the dean actually did give to students just out of his own pocket. Seeing him, he was a small, rather dapper man in a big office, seemed to me, with a big desk in the administration building, and he was quite friendly, although not overly so. He wasn't effusive. He was just a pleasant, interested individual to talk to. And he asked me what I wanted, and I told him. He gave me the answer, told me what to do, and that was about all there was to it.
As it is, this table de hockey, now that's something naughty. My boy said...
When the big flu epidemic broke out here on the campus, and during that fall, I had it and had been moved out of the Army where most of us were living. I'd been moved into one of the fraternity houses, and being missing from the roll, Dr. Beard came to the room I was in, and who was with him? George Huff. They were out checking on people. Dean Clark someplace was in the neighborhood. The three of them were out, Dr. Beard and George Huff and Dean Clark were the people that were working on this. In other words, these men were the University of Illinois. They were all faculty members in their own rights, and these were highly respected men. This I think, is part of their greatness.